in a tent that night, and then their severity grade is determined. These are some of the disabled children, and every system of the body has been affected. You know, the musculoskeleton, the nervous system. 40% of the women coming here under 40 have menopause. Yeah.
Oh.
This is so cute.
Hey, oh my God. Hey.
We got the news that Dow is willing to pay $12 billion. I mean, first we felt the news was too good to be true. And Dow was too bad for the news to be true.
Yeah.
But still we thought maybe it is true. Maybe they've just seen sense in this.
Yeah.
I mean, for about an hour, we were under that impression.
Yeah. Did people cry with joy?
Yeah. I cried.
Oh, no.
I know lots of people cried.
Were you kind of angry at first, though, when you heard it was a hoax?
No, I wasn't angry. No. Wow.
You think it was worth it?
Totally worth it.
Okay.
We are saying no more Bhopal. What people have gone through here, no one else in the world should go through this.
I think we're in Shivaji Nagar, and it's been a little bit of a a maze getting here. A little, what do you call that? We got lost. That's what it's called. We're trying to meet up with a journalist to interview, and we got lost. Here he is. Oh my God. Okay.
Rajkumar Keswani broke the disaster story. In fact, he broke it years before it actually happened.
So you had already predicted how many times that the disaster would happen before it happened?
In newspapers, 4 times. Once to the chief minister, dozens of times to the local legislators, and once to the Supreme Court. I am the most unfortunate person in this world who has got the recognition for his failure. Had I succeeded, it wouldn't have happened.
When you heard it was a hoax, the thing that we did, were you like, what did you think of it at first?
I thought that was a wonderful thing to do. We were put into a situation which we never thought of that would actually happen. So it is just like being in the heaven. Because I'm sure I'm not going to be in the heaven. So if I'm expecting hell, and suddenly someone puts me for a while in the heaven, so I said, okay, thanks.
20 years since the disaster, the poisons left behind at the plant were still leaching into the groundwater.
Communities that you see in red have not gotten a single drop of clean water.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Until now?
Until now. 8 communities are getting about 12% of the requirement. But this is contaminated water. Some of them used to drink, cook, wash clothes.
Dow could clean up their mess, but they didn't. Instead, they spent tens of millions of dollars on an ad campaign to clean up their image.
For each of us, there's a moment of discovery. And just then, in the flash of a synapse, we learn that life is elemental. And in the dazzling brilliance of this knowledge, we may overlook the element not listed on the chart. Its importance so obvious, its presence is simply understood. The missing element is the human element. And when we add it to the equation, the chemistry changes. The human element is the element of change. The human element. Nothing is more fundamental. Nothing more elemental.
This is Kevin Finn. He trades bonds.
This is what I do, sit here and just look at this screen for, 12 and 14 hours a day. It's very romantic, actually.
More than anyone else we knew, we thought Kevin could explain why Dow wouldn't do anything to fix Bhopal. He told us what happened when Andy went on the BBC.
I got a call from my clerk in the middle of the night. Dow Chemical made some announcement that the stockholders of Dow Chemical didn't like because Dow stock went down. The S&P 500 futures went down. You know, I had to go roll out of bed. My clerk's like freaking out because my position's going against me. My friend tells me he thinks it's, some global conspiracy of traders to try to screw us. And, it finds out it's two jokers.
The effect of our big announcement on the BBC was that Dow's stock lost over $2 billion in 23 minutes.
This tells me all the news that's happening in the world. So on December 3rd, if I was sitting here watching this, it would say, Dow Chemical decides to settle with the Bhopal people. And then people that own Dow Chemical would be like, sold!
Everybody we talked to about that was really happy that Dow was doing the right thing.
Sure, okay. I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be. I'm just saying that, sure, it seems like a good thing, unless I guess you're a Dow Chemical stockholder and you're expecting the $20 billion to go towards a dividend to come back to you or to come to buy some new chemical plant, and it's going to these people that, at least at this point, aren't able to get any money. I mean, you could see how they could be upset about that, right?
We were confused. As kids, we learned that it was bad to do something bad. And if you did something good, you got a reward. Yet when we announced Dow would do something great, the market gave Dow a spanking. So how could we get companies to do the right thing? We needed to change the rules of the market. But that meant regulation, and regulation meant government. The only problem was, government was drinking Friedman's free market Kool-Aid.
Free markets are working miracle after miracle of economic growth.
Open markets and rule-based trade are the best engines we know of.
But when the government stepped back and let the free enterprise system do its work, then the better we did, the more robust our economy grew, the better I did, and the better my business grew.
For the last 30 years, the leaders of most powerful countries did whatever the free marketeers recommended. And what they recommended was simple.
The solution is not to have government to intervene or regulate in some way.
In fact, most problems will solve themselves if ignored, and let free people working in free markets address them.
Following advice like this, governments around the world got rid of a whole bunch of regulations meant to protect people, like in banking.
I'm confident that the degree of harm or spillover effect, whatever subprime mortgages go bad, that the market will devise ways to minimize and diffuse the negative effects.
Their faith in the market was unshakable, but we all know what happened next.
Now with the world's largest insurance company, AIG, on the brink of collapse, it could mean devastation way beyond Wall Street.
What other disasters weren't coming?
Global warming is silly. It's not a serious issue. Warmer is healthier, and warmer is more pleasant, and that's why states like Arizona keep gaining population rapidly.
There are benefits to global warming. Cold-related deaths will actually decrease considerably.
Just like with the subprime mortgages, our free market friends were doing all they could to stop government from intervening. Except here, the stakes were higher.
I think it's quite possible that if it weren't for groups like ours, that the United States might very well be in the Kyoto Protocol by now.
And if you've seen the ads that we ran about a year ago, which we produced in-house on this global warming, where our essential contention is carbon dioxide, they call it pollution, we call it life.
There's something in these pictures you can't see. It's what we breathe out and plants breathe in. Carbon dioxide. They call it pollution. We call it life.
We got lots of hate mail. 2 senators this past fall sent a letter to ExxonMobil calling on it to stop funding CEI.
So Exxon was secretly paying think tanks to tell us